It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and happy Labor Day. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Pavlicious.
Good morning, TGIF. I am Philip Simon.
And of course, it's a pleasure to be back in your company after a very interesting week. So many stories making news all around, whether from our actual television cameras to our smartphones. Lots has been happening. And of course, Phil and I are always happy to bring you some of the latest information. Looking forward to a great show. But before we get into that, Phil, how has the week been for you?
This has been the longest, shortest week I think I've ever had.
I think that's a very good way to describe it.
Apparently, there were 2 holidays in this week, including today. It is Labor Day, right?
It is Labor Day indeed.
We are laboring here on Bahamas at Sunrise just for you. But yes, right, it has been an interesting week just to see what's going on again throughout the world, particularly in America. But we say throughout the world because it's spread like wildfire. So this has actually become, when we talk about racism and injustice, it's a movement. It's not unique to the United States. And it's certainly not even unique to the Bahamas. And, what it does is it really begins to evoke, and as it should, conversations in each jurisdiction about race, about injustices, about how we just treat one another. It really seems like a simple thing to do or to be, unto one another as we'd have them, be unto us. But it's complicated for a lot of people. And it's, I don't know, but I'm glad we're having the conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad we're having a conversation too. And I think for a lot of us, what I'm asking people for is empathy and understanding, and to kind of start to remove from ourselves our own mental blocks about this. I think a lot of us like to believe in ourselves as the exception, as if, these things don't affect us, or as a society we've outgrown them so much, when in reality they impact so much of what we do, so much of the folklore that we tell ourselves, even the ways that we marry. Like it really is deep-seated, and it really causes us to reflect on how we use colorism in particular to do and advance certain causes. And so, it's really been an interesting week of interesting conversations with people of different shades and complexions living here in the Bahamas. And then on Twitter, they have recently taken to also talking more about women's rights and sexual assault. And so a lot of young people there sharing experiences on that very sensitive matter, and, beginning to really, I think, unearth a lot of the pain that has been going on, whether from racism or colorism to things like sexual abuse and violence. So it really has been an interesting week. And then on top of that, you had the Prime Minister yesterday coming to address us on more leniency for the relaxation of rules. We know that for a lot of people, we're very excited. Barbershops and beauty salons finally open next week. And so people are looking forward to that. And some easing up some of those restrictions for the beaches and the outer islands as well. So a lot going on, as you said, a very long, very short week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You talked about barbershops and beauty salons. I think I've reached the tipping point here, and it's only so much more patting down I can do, right? Cara, I miss you guys. I'm gonna see you soon.
Well, I told my stylist I need the first appointment. I cannot take it anymore. This has definitely probably been one of the more trying parts of the pandemic for me. But I guess if our biggest concern is our hair not being combed the way we like it to be, then I think we've done pretty well. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you this morning. Of course, it is Labor Day, as we mentioned, and so we're going to be covering a whole lot. So who are you talking to this morning?
Well, you said Bernard Evans is going to be with us this morning. He's the president of NTCUB. It's Labor Day for the first time in history. Apparently, we're not having marches, but again, that's just for today. They can always come at a different time, but I think it's still very important that we remember the movement, particularly as we go into this period of uncertainty and very high unemployment rates. We also have a representative from the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture. World Food Safety Day is June 7th, and we're going to be talking about what exactly that means.
All right, looking forward to both of those segments. I'm also looking forward to speaking with Dr. Chris Curry today. Dr. Curry is, of course, a professor of history over there at the University of the Bahamas, and he's going to be sharing with us really a lot on this civil unrest in the United States and giving us his perspective on some of the things that it's unearthed here in the Bahamas, as Phil and I would have mentioned earlier. So looking forward to that engaging conversation. We've also got another edition of Adventures Online coming your way, and that should be pretty good as well. We hope you've been taking advantage of that. We know that we're slowly moving back into toward this new normal, and so we might not be having as much time at home. So while we're still here, these are still some opportunities you can take some advantage of. And then, of course, we want to encourage you to tune in to The Financial Voice next week, Wednesday, on June 10th at 8 p.m., right here on cable channel 212. But we'll be talking about the national budget and taking a look at a way that is broken down. We're also going to be able to have you call in and ask questions. So it's really going to be a good show, and we hope that you will tune in for that. But before we get to any of that, we want to take our first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Bahamas, and happy Labor Day, everybody, especially those union leaders are there in the fight at this time. In the weather today, we do have low-level trough across the extreme northwest Bahamas, and also some rich tropical moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that combined also will give us a lot of showers and thunderstorms, mainly across Grand Bahama, Abaco, Bimini during the daytime. A couple of showers will be in the northwest, in the remaining northwest Bahamas and central southeastern islands during the daytime. High pressure also producing some windy conditions across the islands. In weather today, a mix of sun and clouds, still hot, still humid, with a few showers, isolated thunderstorms, mainly across the extreme northwest Bahamas, high temperature reaching 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a little breezy, with those showers and thunderstorms again popping up during the nighttime, early morning hours. The low temperature going down to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 83 and 79. In Jamaica, 85 and 75. In Trinidad, 85 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 88 and 76. Across North America, Atlanta 85 and 69, in Raleigh 84 and 71, in Miami 85 and 78, Dallas, Texas 95 and 70, and Toronto, Canada 71 and 58. That low-level trough with a rich moisture will continue into the next 24 to 48 hours, so you will look at a mix of sun and cloud with some showers and thunderstorms possible, and that could increase by Monday also. The temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up in your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Bahamas at sunrise. Be back after a short commercial break.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on Westbury Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, Call 32FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, as we said at the beginning of the show, that is, happy Labor Day to all of you. Now, this, of course, is a different Labor Day for all of us. Apparently, the first time that we have not had a Labor Day parade in many, many years, since the parades got started, actually. And, of course, that is due to COVID-19, which has changed so much, including our labor force. Well, this morning we wanted to talk with someone about this and its impact. So we're very happy to welcome Bernard Evans. He's the president of the National Congress of Trade Unions. Good morning, Mr. Evans, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, and good morning, all of the audience of Bahamas of Sunrise. Happy Labor Day to everybody, and thanks for the invitation.
It's our pleasure to have you with us. And I know this morning you would have been on the road early, marching on down, and then there would have been some good music and possibly some good chicken sauce to end it all. But unfortunately, we find ourselves in a circumstance where that cannot happen. How then are the unions preparing to celebrate this day, given that you cannot do what you've normally done, which is to do your Labor Day march?
Well, actually, we normally have a whole, the entire week is dedicated to Labor Week. Normally, we would have had a church service. We would have had a high school speech competition on the history of the labor movement. We would have had honorees and a banquet following that to celebrate those who have been in the struggle for many, many years. And culminating, like you said, with Labor Day. So it's really a bit strange right now today. This morning, I would normally be headed out by now to East Street of Windsor Park. But we've asked all of our affiliates to try and do something different. And so some of our affiliates today, beginning with the Financial Services Union, we're going to honor the falling sisters at North and at Shirley Street. So it's unfortunate that the plaque that we had laid, that someone defaced the plaque, a very sad soul. We pray for that individual or individuals. So we will have that. And then the remainder of the day, we will be taking out some food for all of the essential workers, the nurses, the sanitary workers, the police officers, and those who are still out there working.
Okay, excellent. And so in honor of those four women, you did mention that you guys were going to do a plaque, and unfortunately that has been defaced, and that's very disturbing, of course, to hear. So we do join you in persons that would have committed that atrocity. Will you guys be laying wreaths at any of the grave sites or that nature?
Well, yesterday, yesterday we were invited by the Progressive Liberal Party. They honored had a wreath laying ceremony. And so the TUC level, Obi Ferguson and myself, we were invited to join them in that. And so we did that along with the families around us. That was yesterday. Today, we will still continue that. Some of us will be going to because there are a couple of graveyards where they are fallen sisters are. That is Woodlawn Gardens and Lakeview. And so we will continue to do that as well.
Okay. Now, in terms of the actual parade itself, there had been some conversation from you earlier on in the media about perhaps looking at not doing the parade today, but not letting the entire year go by without celebrating it in that format. Has there been any further discussion or any further plans for maybe utilizing another holiday in honor of Labor Day?
Absolutely. We've petitioned, we wrote the letter, we were able to send it out just yesterday to the Office of the Prime Minister. But prior to that, we've been speaking with the Minister of Labor, letting him know, giving him pretty much a heads up that we were we're anticipating maybe October 12th, not to take away the shine from Heroes Day, but to kind of maybe go together because we'll be able to celebrate all heroes with particular surrounding. And maybe those who they will honor, if they're going to still honor some persons on Heroes Day. So October 12th is what we're looking forward to. Now, there's a hitch to that. If, in fact, we did add that in the letter, that I think October 12th falls on a Monday, and it might be difficult for persons to march on a Monday and have to return to work on the Tuesday. And so we were asking maybe if it's granted that they can celebrate it on that Friday so we could have the whole weekend to recuperate. But we'll see how that goes. But no, you're right. We want to celebrate. We don't want to lose the entire year. Obviously, 2020 has been a very, very strange year for all of us. A lot of first-time experiences. And so if we can really still celebrate labor and really do homage to what we normally do in terms of honoring our own heroes and then still being able to exercise and celebrate Labor Day as we normally do, October 12th is what we're trying to target, and hopefully we will get the blessing and endorsement from the government.
Hopefully you will. And I do know, of course, that you, in your analysis there, you're hoping that it would be moved from a Friday to a Monday in the anticipation that people will be back to work.
From a Monday to a Friday. Yeah.
From a Monday to a Friday, we'll be back to work. But we do know that this pandemic has laid off some 30% of our employees, and that many of them, of course, are directly connected to the tourism sector. What has been the NCTB's input on this 90-day termination deadline?
Actually, we were able to get government, and let me just say this, hats off to all of the social partners. And when I say social partners, I'm talking about the Employees Association and the government. We were able to advance policies to extend the automatic or the legal termination time, so that those persons, because even though we may have to walk left, we don't expect or we don't anticipate that those hotels will be open up and will be flooded. We pray, just like how I am anxious to try to get out and travel. We're also hopeful that the global community is always also of the same mindset, that they would want to get on the plane right quick and come to a destination like the Bahamas and fill these hotels. But to be safe and to be more prepared, during this lull period, we know that everybody would not be going to work automatically, and so it might be a phased approach. But that is a critical moment. How many persons, how soon? And so we still have to provide some safety nets for that. And so we did get an approval for an extension that NIB, or through the assistance program, would still be able to hold on to those persons and at the same time not recognizing the legal obligation for redundancies. And so we were hopeful for that, and all stakeholders were involved. We don't want to take all the credit, but they did listen this time, and so hopefully that will carry through for as long as it can.
Okay. Now, in terms of moving forward, certainly we've seen the labor movement grow and change over these past years. Some people have even, at certain points, called it irrelevant, while others have fought to say, no, that this is still a very much needed space for our workers in this country. What has COVID-19 taught you all as union leaders and as unionists in particular? Are there any lessons coming out of this that you're looking to apply as you move forward?
Actually, you know, COVID-19 has really taught us, and not only us, but those from other stakeholders. I can tell you from the COVID-19 Task Force Committee, of where I sit, and also I believe Obi will also endorse from the economic side where he sits, that this broad inclusion of stakeholders involved in sharing information, because for what we represent from the ground up. As you know, the income inequality is still getting wider. Safety nets, social safety nets need to put in place, and we are fortunate to see that the government has expanded on the budget for national health insurance, because that is a big issue for us. But the whole tripartite consulate dialogue has broadened it, and now we see that people perhaps now get a better picture of the struggling masses that's on the edge of the poverty line. I can see us ascending to a model that is widely used in Europe, where they have social unions. When I say social unions, it's not a traditional unions that we now utilize here in the Bahamas, but it's one more less contentious, but more wider in scope in the participation, and that's all that's needed. we really wouldn't need unions if we didn't have unscrupulous boss who really keep their feet frigatively on the backs of workers and take advantage of such situations. And even through this pandemic, we've noticed some, not many, because a wide majority of employees have been doing a good job in keeping the light on in many homes by still providing payments, salaries and whatnot. But you still have some very, very unscrupulous employees out there who wants to take advantage of employees where you have, they're asking for one employee to do the work of 2 to 3 or 4 in some cases, employees would have done. And because of the vulnerability and the scarcity of work, persons would want to put aside their normal protections, their normal benefits, so that they could take something home. We hope that that does not tarry long, and we try to keep eye on those persons. But COVID-19 has brought a lot of stuff. The world of work is going to change. Teleworking, as we've been speaking about that for more than 15 years now, we see it now come to fruition. BTC in particular, I could use that as an example. They're taking, for instance, their call center and move one of their call centers out of the building and have them work from home. But what they're saying is the productivity across all spectrum have risen because of person working from home. And I believe what's supposed to be a short time measure now has become now prolonged. So now we're looking at the end of the year and in some cases permanent fixture. Yeah. And all that's now needed is for them to assist the persons working from home with their utility bills, as you know, since they're home, they're going to incur additional expenses in terms of air conditioning and what have you. But we noticed that in this adversity, there's a lot of opportunities given the internet, and that is why we were also pushing, not from an educational standpoint too, because I may sound all over the place here, but internet is so important, and the bandwidth capacities are so important that we want these ICT providers to ensure that we have maximum bandwidth capacity so that we can compete. So we see some opportunities, we see some pitfalls with it. For labor in particular, we like to have shops where we can see one another and people can share and become cohesive in that nature. But now you have persons working a faceless staff now. And so we know we're going to lose that, and we got to try and tackle what difficulties that brings and keeping labor together.
Okay. Well, Mr. Evans, thank you. You shared so much with us this morning, and we're really grateful that you joined us here at Bahamas at Sunrise. Happy Labor Day to you.
Happy Labor to you also, okay? But looking forward to October 12th for everybody. I hope you will join us too.
Definitely. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Business in the Box is your solution for business from Cable Bahamas. It's an internet, voice, mobile, and advertising solution all in one place. Get reliable internet, free domestic call, and a live corporate package, and free TV ad placement, all starting with packages as low as $164 a month. You can save over $3,000 a year. Just call 601-8911. That's 601-8911. And ask for Business in a Box from Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Food safety is everybody's business. That is the thrust behind World Food Safety Day, which is June 7th, this coming Sunday, as designated by the WHO, the World Health Organization. Here to talk with us about the significance of this day is Shakara Lightborn, acting country representative of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture. Good morning, Shakara.
Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Bahamas.
Firstly, for people who aren't familiar with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, just briefly tell us exactly what the organization is and a little bit about the work that you do.
Well, we are an international agency, and then we come under the OAS. We have 35 member states, and we're a very specialized agency within the OAS. We give technical assistance in all areas of agriculture, from the government level to the farmer level. So we're kind of like, you heard of IDB?
Yes.
We're like the cousin to IDB, but we deal with agriculture. So they have the money, and we do the technical assistance in agricultural development. So our office here in the Bahamas is on Village Road, and I'm the representative. So, and our headquarters is in Costa Rica. We do a lot of work in terms of training, help with policy development, and creating those linkages within the region.
Yeah. It almost sounds like one of those things you kind of take it for granted until you really have to kind of focus on it. But when we talk about food safety, by definition, what does that encompass?
Well, that just encompasses making sure that the food and the water you put in your mouth is safe for you to eat. It's not going to cause any harm or cause you to essentially be sick or even die. I'm sure you've heard recalls of spinach and these different things from the States. Those recalls were because there was some kind of food safety breach, probably at the farm level. Food was contaminated and reached thousands of people, and they found the breach. Many people would have gotten sick by then, and that's why they recall the item. So that's the significance in that.
Okay. Is there, might be completely unrelated, but is there any correlation between what's happening now with the coronavirus, COVID-19, and the concept of food safety, or just two completely different things?
No, it's not two completely different things. It's alleged that it started, the virus may be of animal origin, and that may have happened as most people, maybe some people know that there are some diseases that are transmittable from animals to humans, and they're called zoonotic diseases. For example, bird flu, we had swine flu, H1N1, these different types of diseases, and it's alleged that COVID is one of those diseases that could pass from animals to humans, whether it be through your food or through touching or whatever interaction with those animals. But in terms of the significance of COVID right now is our food chain. Because of COVID, the food chain has significantly been interrupted, from the farm level straight to the table, and think of all the linkages in between there and how many people have to handle the food before it actually gets to you. So definitely most countries are focused on feeding their own people first, so it really impacts food security as well. So in that way, they want to try to reduce the transmission of the disease among agricultural workers and transportation people and logistics people. So that's where the significance would come in.
So when we talk about World Food Safety Day, elaborate just a little bit more on the significance of the day in terms of who participates in it. Is there a particular call to action in this campaign for food safety?
Yeah, well, definitely the theme for this year is food safety is everybody's business, and definitely it starts with the government and the regulations and people, the government setting those standards for people to follow good guidelines. And a lot of people think that food safety and food quality are the same thing, but food could definitely be a good quality but not be safe to eat. So you have to make that distinction. So from the government level, there's a call to action to ensure that the food is safe And then at the farmer level, you need to grow it safe, particularly with produce, which is, it doesn't have a kill step. Produce, you just put it straight in your mouth, right? You don't usually cook it or eat a salad, you eat that raw. So at that level, it has to be safe. Otherwise, you can have a problem. Then at the business operators level, with the way they handle the food in the restaurants and whatnot, it has to be safe at that level. And then at the consumer level, when you go at home and you're preparing your food, so you're preparing chicken and make sure your surfaces are clean, and you prepare your food and make sure it's safe. So you can see all along the chain, from farm to table, or from, we say for fishermen, from boat to throat, that the food is safe all along the chain. And so those are the particular calls of action to get people aware that we have to prevent illnesses and detect it and be able to manage the foodborne risks.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, from boat to throat. Does it? Do you think that this whole supply chain, this food chain, has gotten a little more complicated? Because before, I guess in days gone by, it would usually be from farm to, to throat per se. But there 1 in 10 people. I mean, that's the statistic that we read in the world fall ill after eating contaminated food. And so we talk about the supply chain here in the Bahamas. Are there some protocols that we might not be following as well in the Bahamas that puts us at risk?
Yeah, I think more people get foodborne illnesses in the Bahamas than we think. We just blow it off as, oh, I ate something bad, or I have the belly, and they don't report it, right? So especially if you go to a festival or something like that, it may be you and actually 2 or 3 other people, and by definition, an outbreak is 2 to 3 people, 2 or more people, getting sick from the same place or the same food. So I think we just don't really, even with fish poisoning, barracuda poisoning, we don't report. Right? Yeah, no, we don't really report that, but that's a foodborne illnesses. That's a toxin. It's a safety issue. So the government, with the new policies in increasing local production, Minister Pintard mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, that local production will increase by 40%. Vendors will be required to buy more local food. With that comes the food safety aspect of things for the farmers, to make sure there's no pathogens, they're not overuse of chemicals, which is another way you can get sick, and to make sure that the chain is secure. And on the government's end, they're going to have to regulate these people who are producing our food. So with that, the benefit is that it's better traceability because it's in country, and that's why I think a lot of people are attracted to farmers market, because they can talk to farmers directly and they can trace where their food comes from, as opposed to some far away country, and where the chicken was sitting in the freezer for 5 years or something. I don't know, but at least you can go straight to your farmer now and talk to your farmer about your food.
Yeah. And of course, that's a good thing, right? I mean, there probably has been a prevalence of processed food, and again, the number of hands that touch it before it gets to your plate. So it's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So persons who want to learn more about World Food Safety Day, and of course the work that you do there at the IICA, tell us how we can be in touch.
Well, in terms of World Food Safety Day, it's a collaboration between, like you said, WHO as well as FAO, which is a Food and Agriculture Organization, who is one of our partners in the region. We're in the hemisphere, in the Western Hemisphere, but they're global and come under the United Nations. So you can check out their website, the WHO and FAO website. In terms of IECA, you can visit our Facebook page, which is the most active, so IECA Bahamas. And on that page, we've actually uploaded a document which speaks to food safety for agricultural workers, specifically in terms of COVID. And some pretty good information on that, as well as you can go to the IECA main website, which is www.iica.int, and you can see all the projects going on in all our 35 countries.
Thank you so much. I was wondering how I was going to pronounce that acronym there, but
IECA. You can say IECA or IECA, whichever one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Jakara Lightpoint, she's the acting country representative of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IECA.
Yes, thank you.
All right, have a nice weekend.
Okay, you too have a wonderful day.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
As the world is facing the global COVID-19 pandemic, Doctors Hospital has offered the Doctors Hospital West facility to be used to treat the overflow of severely ill positive COVID-19 patients and those who require treatment on a ventilator. Each room is equipped with appropriate furniture, including a bed and tables, an armoire, a television, monitors for teleconferencing, and a bathroom. Patients will also be provided 3 meals a day while on site. We intend to keep patients as comfortable as possible during their stay. Patients will be able to teleconference with the nursing staff, their physician, or visitors from their room during the course of their quarantine. Individuals visiting patients in quarantine will be screened upon arrival at a nearby but off-site staging area. Once screened, visitors will be able to teleconference with their loved one. As the facility is in use for a national emergency, it will be secured by members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force for the safety of patients and staff. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Since 1967, FOCAL has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality products and great customer service. Today, we continue to work hard and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this Labor Day Friday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
I'm Philip Simon.
And of course, it's been a great morning so far. We've had the opportunity to talk with and about labor. And then, Phil, I know you had the opportunity to talk about food security, which of course is very important given COVID-19.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those things, sometimes you just take it for granted, right? When that hunger strikes, it doesn't matter. You kind of just go and you prep something up. But now, because of COVID, you get home, you wipe and spray down everything. And then you're more conscious about what it is that you're buying, more conscious about what it is that you're eating. And of course, the organic movement. And so it's really, it's good. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah, it certainly for us has been a shift in our agricultural policies and the way we think about food and how we grow it and how we secure it. And so from that perspective, COVID-19 has certainly presented us with a great opportunity. The other thing, though, that people have really been talking about lately, especially since yesterday, is that the government has called for national examinations on July 13th. Not sure how you feel about that, Phil, but I certainly understand and sympathize with those students who are being encouraged to take the examinations at this time, not only because of the disruption in their schedule due to COVID, but those particularly who were disrupted due to Dorian, and then knowing that for many of our students, the circumstances are not equal. They do not have internet, they do not have access to certain things, and so to require that of them now, when University of the Bahamas and many of the other international accredited institutes have removed those sorts of things from their application process, to me seems a little unfair. And so we're going to have to see how that plays out. I certainly know the teachers union seems to be taking a stand against it, so we'll see what happens there.
Well, you said it all, and the only thing I was going to add, you added right at the end there. What do the teachers think? I mean, it's obviously it's been an adjustment for everybody, and what do I think about it? You said it all. It could have waited. I just think it could have waited. Listen. So Terrence had a birthday yesterday. He tried to sneak that one past us. He's just so busy shouting instructions from behind those controls there. But happy birthday, Terrence.
Happy birthday to you, Terrence, and of course, happy birthday to Walt as well. Walt had been a long-standing member there at the Counselors, and I'm sure he would have had cake for us if we were in studio for him and Terrence. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to you, and
Well,
thank you so much.
we're gonna have to get that later. My good cousin, we used to call him Little Mitch back in the day, but now he's Big Mitch. Mitchell McKenzie had a birthday this week. Darren Turnquest also had a birthday this week. Didn't get a chance to speak with him, but happy birthday, Darren. And of course, today is Dr. Darville's birthday, Natari. Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Happy birthday to all of you, and one of my best friends celebrating on the 3rd as well, Patricia Roberts. So belated happy birthday to her. But definitely to everybody in this season of celebration. You're getting closer and closer to being able to go out to dinner. So good for you. So the second half, we're going to be talking with Dr. Christopher Curry from the University of Bahamas, speaking specifically about what the violence in America, not just violence, but the real rebellion against the system is doing in terms of revealing racism and what that has an impact on us here in the Bahamas. So looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, in our latest edition of Adventures Online, we're going to show you several virtual museum tours you can access for free on the internet. But now let's take a look with our second look with Weather at Sunrise with the G-Man, Godfrey Burnside. Miss you, my brother.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you for joining Morning Bahamas, and I too like to wish Terrence a happy birthday today in the studio with us. In your second look at Weather at Sunrise, the tropics first. We do have Tropical Depression Cristobal, and at 5 a.m. this morning was located at latitude 18.8 degrees north and longitude 91 degrees west, some 80 miles south-southeast of Campeche in Mexico. It's now moving towards the north-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Those winds are now 35 miles per hour. It's expected to merge back into the Gulf of Mexico sometime today and re-intensify back in a tropical storm sometime by late tonight, early tomorrow. Elsewhere, tropical storm formation expected during the next 24 hours. On a local scene, low-lying trough across the extreme northwest Bahamas, and that's combined with some rich tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, will continue to trigger showers and thunderstorms across the islands, particularly the extreme northwest Bahama, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini Berry Islands over the next 24 to 48 hours. High pressure also triggering some breezy conditions across the islands. In your marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet of northwest Bahamas, east at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds become southeast to south at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the northwest and central Bahamas, east to southeast at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the southeastern islands. And on Sunday, those winds over the northwest Bahamas come southerly at 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 feet, and then over central and southeastern islands, east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 7:59 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 2:06 this afternoon. High gain this evening at 8:31. Sunset will be 7:58 this evening. Rising at 6:20. UV index 9. Your water temperature 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And your moon phase full moon. External look. Troughing along with a rich tropic must continue to trigger off some showers and thunderstorms across the islands over the weekend. In pockets though, for the most part, and by Monday we expect increasing clouds and showers again as that system moves into the southern United States. So temperature daytime will be in the upper 80s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up in your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Bahamas at Sunrise will be back after this short commercial break.
one thing, two things. Good thing, all things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, protests and riots have been happening all over America and the world in response to the unjust killing of George Floyd, a black man, by a police officer. If we do not learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it. And history professor Dr. Chris Curry joins us to help us find the lesson in all of this. Dr. Curry, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you with us. We always feel so enlightened following our conversations. And so, of course, we want to be able to bring some context to that today. I want to get started right away. We see history repeat itself because the issues in history have not been resolved. And you've been known to say that. So what exactly does that mean?
Well, in the case of the United States, we know that you had an Emancipation Proclamation during the Civil War, 1863, with Abraham Lincoln. After the Civil War and the period of Reconstruction, which ended in 1877, formerly enslaved persons in the United States did not receive 40 acres and a mule, nor did they receive the civil rights that they had thought that they would receive. And then, of course, you had a period of white supremacy and lynching that continued well into the 20th century. And you had the continued disenfranchisement of these persons. And so this is why it gave rise to a civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s. And so an unresolved issue of rights, freedoms, and liberties created an environment in which people now had to fight for them and are still fighting for them, as we see now in the streets of many of the major cities in the U.S. As it relates to the Bahamas, similarly, we had full emancipation in 1838, but then you had formerly enslaved persons in the Bahamas falling victims to white oppression with a truck share and labor tendency labor systems. And also you had the monopolization of various businesses and the control of the economic, social, and political spheres in Bahamas by the Bay Street Boys. And so we too had to have another movement called the Quiet Revolution, leading and culminating with majority rule in 1967. So there's interesting parallels between the United States and the Bahamas as it relates to race relations.
So, Dr. Curry, you bring up the Quiet Revolution as our means to achieving some of the things to be achieved in terms of quote-unquote racial equality here in this country. But, there are some people that have been looking at our history and saying that maybe it might not have been as quiet as people want us to think. And why is it that we continue to perpetuate a notion that it has been quiet when we had things like the Burma Road riots, that we do know that I think it might have been 2 people that lost their lives there, when we know that there were some threats made to former leader Lyndon Pinling regarding bombing, etc., during the time that he was trying to run to take over in majority rule. And so why is it that we are stuck? And I know that many Bahamians have been challenged by watching these rebellions in the United States and thinking that they are too violent, that they're not going about it peacefully enough. Can we come to grips with our own history and understand that rebellion, protest, and revolution are part of how things change? What are your thoughts on
That's a very broad concept, right? Yeah, we like to settle for the simplified narrative that, it's better in the Bahamas, suggests that, we're some kind of an exceptionalist place where there's no riots, there's no revolution, and there's no violence. And that sells well, I guess, to a tourist market where we're trying to encourage people to come to our peaceful shores. However, we need to stop perfuming our past and look at the realities of our history, which suggests that we always had people who confronted inequalities and injustice, in very powerful ways, going back to individuals like Pompey and Alec and Tilda, Kate Moss, persons who stood up for something and even lost their lives as a consequence. And then moving into the 20th century with the Burma Road riot, you had 5 individuals who lost their lives during that Burma Road riot, but no one wants to talk about these individuals. No one wants to memorialize them. We don't see any kind of monument or a sculptured statue of these individuals. And it speaks to a problematic narrative in that we want to celebrate peace and peaceful protests, but we don't realize that sometimes blood has had to be shed in order for the gains that we currently enjoy in our country today. So I would advance that we need to dig a little deeper into our history. And I would argue that maybe in some ways, as we celebrate Labor Day, which traditionally always fell on the day, June 1st of the Burma Road riot, which is actually the day when it happened, that we need to look a little deeper into the way in which that event has been sanitized. Meaning, a lot of times we focus on the white merchant stores that were looted and destroyed during the riot, but we forget that over-the-hill communities also were affected by the Burma Road riot in Grahamstown and Baytown after what happened on Bay Street that transpired. There's a lot that has to be done in our history, and I think we do ourselves an injustice, the service really, when we don't have frank and open discussions about these things. We like to sweep everything under the proverbial rug, and rather than talk about them openly.
Now, as we take a look again at our brother in the United States, and we know that, the same time that Martin Luther King was doing the movement there, we had to Lyndon and others doing the movement here in our own country. Obviously, the parallels do exist. I'm concerned that while the protests are good and we are seeing certain things like people being charged, and in some countries, some states, they're introducing new legislation to help with police brutality, what will actually lead to long-lasting change there? Will these protests be enough, or will, in another 50 years down the line, people be doing this again, the same way they did with the original civil rights movements? Has the fact that the world has gotten involved, will that matter at all, or how do we see lasting change there?
Well, lasting change requires people's commitment to the effort. A lot of times what we see happening in the United States and really globally is protest movements eventually wax or wane, and they become less newsworthy, I suppose, and people go back to their daily lives, but no substantial change is made because the political system is still in the hands of the few and the powerful and the privileged. So what I think the protesters are thinking now is, we have to find a way to sustain this and then find other avenues of addressing these issues, whether it be in courts, through legislation, through commissions, and through looking at the clear and, well, to me, visible inequalities that are expressed in the U.S. A lot of this was born out of the frustration that emerged with the COVID-19, the fact that African Americans are more vulnerable as a population because they don't have access to health care, to health insurance, to medical facilities. All right, they're disadvantaged because of the low incomes that they earn, because they're exposed to the virus because of the kind of jobs as essential workers they were forced to take on. And so people are not looking at systemic, institutionalized racism, classism, and inequalities like they should. But hopefully the protesters will take this momentum and turn it into something that leads to real change. And in the Bahamas, we're hoping too that we understand that while we have a black-led government and we are a country with a majority black population, we don't think for a moment that we don't have inequalities being expressed. We have disadvantaged communities where persons do not have access to electricity, to proper running water in their homes. And when they go before the courts because they're trying to sell coconut water, they can't even afford bail or even a good lawyer to get them out of that situation.
Yeah, and as we talk about the Bahamas, any final words that you want to leave with us? I mean, so many conversations have erupted over this on social media, on national radio, and yet there seems to be a certain group of the population, many of them Black, who just cannot accept that colorism and racism are real here. And it really is quite an interesting thing to see. And then even just this notion of colorism and who is white and what counts as white. It really is an interesting dynamic here. Any final thoughts you want to leave with us?
Yeah, I agree that colorism and classism, perhaps in post-independence Bahamas, is a bigger issue than race, but it still speaks to a profound inequalities. And I want to cite Martin Luther King, who famously said, injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. And I think it's a speech that he gave as part of his jailhouse address. When he was in prison. So we understand that in the Bahamas, as in the United States, we need to continue to fight against racial injustice and general systemic institutional injustice where it exists.
All right. Dr. Curry, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, if you're looking for that op-ed piece, I think it's available on the University of the Bahamas' website. Really an excellent editorial that you wrote on these issues of race and comparison here in the Bahamas. And I'm always grateful for you as a person who is white and sharing in these conversations. And in that piece, of course, you talk about the own privileges that you've benefited from in comparison to those, who are Black. So I really a great piece, and we're always so enlightened by our conversations with you. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Certainly appreciate it. Take care and have a happy Labor Day.
You do the same. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
We are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Since 1967, Focal has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality products and great customer service. Today, we continue to work hard and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
Business in the Box is your solution for business from Cable Bahamas. It's an internet, voice, mobile, and advertising solution all in one place. Get reliable internet, free domestic call, and a live corporate package, and free TV ad placement, all starting with packages as low as $164 a month. You can save over $3,000 a year. Just call 601-8911. That's 601-8911. And ask for Business in a Box from Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the show. Even though lockdown restrictions are relaxing, it's still good to have some go-to at-home entertainment options. So today in Adventures Online, we take a look at virtual museum tours that you can experience from France to New York City. Check it out.
The coronavirus pandemic means that 90% of all museums around the world are closed. However, the upside is that many international museums have made their content available online. So get comfy on your sofa and prepare to dig into world-class arts and culture without ever leaving home. You can tour the world's largest art museum, the Louvre in Paris. They expanded their digital collection since COVID-19 and offer virtual tours of several exhibitions. The Louvre contains more than 380,000 objects and displays 35,000 works of art in 8 departments. Start with the closer look interactive multimedia modules. Take an up-close look at the portrait of the Marquis de Pompadour by Maurice Quintin de la Tour. It depicts King Louis XV's mistress as a woman of wit and learning. Survey the beautiful detail of the brocaded skirt and her lovely face. It is an exceptional painting. Many flock to the Louvre simply to check out one painting, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Observe the stunning detail of this masterpiece of the Italian Renaissance. The painting is shrouded in mystery, and many still try to decipher what is behind that famous smile. Also at the Louvre, delve into the exhibition Founding Myths from Hercules to Darth Vader, which explores how illustrators, sculptors, painters, puppeteers, filmmakers, and musicians around the world have drawn inspiration from myths and given them form and brought them to life.
There is so much to explore at the Louvre. Take your time and wander around all of the digital collections. Google has an arts and culture section that features a wide array of virtual museum tours. Check out the National Gallery of Art. This museum in Washington, D.C. preserves, collects, and exhibits art including paintings, sculpture, drawings, photographs, and decorative art. Discover Vermeer and the Dutch masters, who portray a series of scenes of daily life from the 17th century. Pause and examine the portrait of A Lady Writing by Johannes Vermeer. Appreciate its lemony yellows and teal blues that are blended to achieve an eye-pleasing chromatic balance. Now, hop from Washington, D.C. to New York City with a click of the mouse to visit one of my favorite museums, the Museum of Modern Art, or the MoMA. You can check out some of their offerings on the Google Art site, or you can head straight to MoMA.org. Soak in the vivid hues of Van Gogh's The Olive Trees and Starry Night. Enjoy Gauguin's bright Tahitian landscapes, Seed of the Ori, and Washerwomen. Get lost in the fantastic imagery of Henri Rousseau's The Sleepy Gypsy and The Dream, and discover the bold, provocative paintings of Pablo Picasso. Browse other work by Paul Cézanne, George Seurat, and Gustav Klimt. You can zoom through Klimt's decadent painting, The Kiss, which is actually finished with real silver and gold leaf. Klimt created a puzzling ornamental mosaic painting during the phase referred to as the Golden Epoch. He created tension between different styles of painting, and the result is breathtaking. Continue on and explore over 87,000 modern and contemporary artworks online, including paintings, sculptures, drawings, photographs, and other design objects. Now, back to Washington, D.C. to tour the Smithsonian Museums. I checked out the I Am exhibit, which showcases contemporary women artists of Africa. It is a testament to womanhood and explores the vital contributions of women in various arenas. Also explore the broad scope and splendor of the world's most extensive natural history research collection at the Natural History Museum. There are over 145 million artifacts and specimens there. I journeyed through the Objects of Wonder exhibit. Very exciting. And since SpaceX blasted off last week with 2 NASA astronauts, it's a great time to revisit the history of NASA space travel. Take a look at Apollo 11. Examine the Command Module Columbia, which was the living quarters for the 3-person crew during most of the first manned lunar landing in 1969. Then make a detailed examination of the construction of Neil Armstrong's spacesuit. You can do a 360-degree tour around the suit and get information about every single part. Look at the detailed restraint mechanisms built into the suit. There were reinforced attachment points at the end of every single wire. During testing, astronauts and technicians stressed each point to make sure that it would not give out during flight. Wow! There are a lot more exhibitions that you can explore at the Smithsonian. Just check it out at www.si.edu and click Online Exhibitions. That's going to do it for this edition of Adventures Online. We hope you have lots of fun touring all of these great museums. For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Suzette Parker.
And that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in today on Labor Day. We do hope that you get to enjoy the holiday as best you can, given the circumstances.
Absolutely, absolutely. This may be our last one star. So, guys, celebrate it. Last lockdown, hopefully in life.
Hopefully. We'll be back with more Bahamas at Sunrise on Monday.